Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit it long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit, get the shit, get the shit long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slave. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, tryna get the shit the long way. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. My name is Tari, and I'm playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, back and forth like the palm way, man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, so we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 we get shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we gon' get the long way,
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello. What's up, down south Yella? Up in here early this morning. Thank you. Well, it's early for me, at least. Thank you for joining. 1 second here. Excuse me. Sorry about that. This cough, man. Sorry about that. Okay, hold on for a second here. Man. 1 second. All right, can you guys hear me okay? All right, now we're up now. Welcome. Let me remove a couple things here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD. SMD is not me. SMD is a family of people that I guess share what I believe, and what I do here is that SMD, we help people. I'm trying to find, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a shorter way to telling you guys this same story that I've been telling you for the last few years. And I'm trying to think of a way just to get straight to the point so I can get straight to it. What do? I am here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know capitalism. Capitalism is 3 parts: psychological, positive, and negative. This is a mathematical fact, all right? This is not a theory or anything like that. This is what it is, okay? And with this knowledge, I now understand that there are people that live on the negative side of capitalism. These people are called debt slaves. Now, the psychological part is this: they don't know that they live there. And you're probably thinking, well, who are debt slaves? Debt slaves are people that believe they can buy houses with mortgages, buy cars with car loans, save for retirement while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan. Those are called debt slaves because they believe they can do these things when that's 100% mathematically impossible. Like, it's 100% mathematically impossible to own equity in a mortgaged house, but debt slaves don't know that. That's the psychological part. Now, the reason why I know this, because I was once a debt slave myself. Sorry, you guys, my voice is, man, I don't know. I was once a debt slave myself, not only just a regular debt slave, I was the best kind. I was a six-figure college educated type of debt slave. The debt slave that was making six figures that, excuse me, making six figures, but double that in debt. That means whatever tax bracket I was in, I couldn't do nothing about it. See, that's what debt slaves on the negative side also don't know. They don't understand that the people that are making six figures but double their salary in debt, whatever tax bracket you're in, you guys can't do anything about it to lower it, but you guys don't know that. That's the psychological part. Well, I'm on the positive side. So what I do is help people own the business of themselves in the United States of America by participating in capitalism, the same system that you're participating in today, but on the positive side. When you come to the positive side, taxes are your friend. You earn phantom income. Not only do you earn and keep the majority of your income, you earn what is called phantom income. An example of phantom income is saving money on taxes. Okay, when you're in debt, no matter what it looks like on paper, I know when you go to your tax person and they submit your money to your retirement plan, and say like you put in $5,000 into your retirement plan, they write it down, they take $5,000 off of your annual income. Yeah, I know it looks right on paper and everything, but if you put it in the calculator, none of that is true. You cannot save for retirement while having a mortgage. You cannot save for retirement while having student loan debt. That is 100% mathematically impossible. Okay. The psychological part, they don't know that. And they are the majority. So what I do is bring people over here to the positive side, participate in capitalism positively, become wealthy, create a successful business or businesses starting here. Because once you understand what I teach, you will realize we are in the best country in the world where capitalism works the best. The whole entire world knows this. The world knows capitalism works best here in the United States of America. And I've been blessed by God to have learned it here. So now any other country I go to that is also capitalist will be a piece of cake to become wealthy wherever I choose. These are facts that I'm speaking. These are facts. That's my gift. It's a God-given. I've been given a God-given gift. You know why? You know why it's God-given? Because I believe God created math. Math is flawless. There are millions and billions of people with perspectives about capitalism. If you talk to each person, half the people don't even know it's capitalism on the negative side. But the people that do know that our system is capitalist, They're usually deep in debt with their own perspective of capitalism. There's only one, and that's the mathematical perspective. There is only one. That's why it's a God-given gift, because I believe God created math. 1 second. Therefore, if somebody comes across this channel and hears me and disagrees with me, you're disagreeing with math. You're not disagreeing with me, because I agree with math. And if you don't agree with me, that means you don't agree with math. And there's nothing I can do about that, nor will I. That's like somebody coming up to you and saying, "Hey, I don't believe 1 + 1 = 2. Convince me." Would you waste 5 seconds of your life to make a person believe 1 + 1 = 2? So when debt slaves argue with me about owning equity in a mortgage, I walk away, because that's the same thing. And you're probably saying to yourself, millions of people believe they own equity in a mortgage house. I know that's what they're supposed to believe, even though it's not mathematically true. You guys got to understand, especially at the title of this video, the 18-year-olds, because something has come to me to focus on you guys for some. And when I get feelings like that, they can only come from one place, and that's God. When you are, what you don't know is this, 18-year-olds. You don't realize that at 18, because nobody's going to tell you, this is the only channel. And I want you, the 18-year-olds that come to this channel, I want you guys to understand this, okay? No matter the year you listen to this video, it will always be valid of what I'm telling you. I'm going to say that one more time. No matter the year, I don't care if you listen to it this year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years from now, it will always be valid. Do you understand? Because math is timeless. Math does not age. It doesn't matter if you know if 1 + 1 = 2 at the age of 5, or if you know that 1 + 1 = 2 at the age of 85. It doesn't matter. You, at age 18, you own yourself. You are financially free at that moment. Now, I know at your age, it doesn't seem like you're like, "Oh, I'm broke. I don't have anything." No, no, what you don't understand is this. Think back in grade school. I want you guys to concentrate on my words. Think back at grade school in math class. You remember the teacher where they put up on the board zeros in the middle, and then on the right in green numbers are positive numbers, and then on the left in red are negative numbers. At age 18, you guys are at 0. Do you understand? Now, right here, it is your job to make sure you always go positive and you stay on the positive side. Because the majority of the people that are that are going to be trying to fill your mind with is credit. You can't buy nothing without, you can't buy a car without credit. You can't buy a house without credit. Now I want you to pause for a minute, okay? Because there's a psychological piece to all of this that you don't know at age of 18. And if I can get it through, through your head at age 18, the rest of your life will be a piece of cake. You will be guaranteed multi-millionaire wealthy. The majority of the people that will be communicating with you about buy, they think the word buy equals finance. They're talking about financing. There's only one way to buy a house, B-U-Y, is cash. When debt slaves, people that don't understand what I'm telling you, when they use the word buy, they are talking about mortgages, which is financing. They don't know that. Now take a step back. I want you to listen closely. Now you take a step back. There are millions of people with mortgages, right? Millions, right? They all don't know. That's why they have the mortgages, because they don't know. It only takes one day to buy a house, not 30 years. They don't know that because they're on the negative side. That's where they're supposed to be. That is a choice, 18-year-olds. That's a choice. Why is it a choice? Because, excuse me, because all they have to do is open up the calculator and put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal. They will see a large negative number and clearly see they own nothing. That 18-year-olds, listen to me. That large negative number they see right there, that means the bank bought them for the price of a house. Do you understand? People on the negative side own nothing. So it's your job. So the people that are talking to you about this and that, they're deep. Remember the grade school, because they taught us all this in elementary school. Those people are deep, deep, deep on the red side, on the negative side. Some of them don't even know how deep they are, nor do they care, and they don't even know. Now, at 18, I want you to listen. At 18, you never personally go into the red, because if you go into the red, you will be instantly owned. Now listen, 18-year-old. I'm gonna tell you the true purpose of credit reports, okay, and credit scores that you will never listen closely. You will never hear this on any other channel, anywhere, on any platform, on any podcast, anywhere in the world but here. Credit reports are owner ledgers, 18-year-olds. Those are owner ledgers. They keep track of all the businesses that own them. That's all that is. Those are owner ledgers. Credit scores, listen closely, 18-year-olds. Credit scores are nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners listed on their credit reports. Those are their slave papers, 18-year-olds. The psychological part is they don't know that. First of all, they don't know capitalism is psychological. Therefore, they don't know there's a positive and negative side, and they don't know that they live in the negative side. They own nothing, not even themselves, and their credit reports say it. Now, if you go through my videos, it doesn't matter what year you do this, because this will always be valid. This will never change as long as I'm alive. You go look at my credit report. I have a video. Nobody in the history of I've ever seen shown their whole entire credit report. I want you guys to see that I do things nobody else does. You will clearly see on my credit report video that I have no owners. That proves I own myself in the United States of America. That is proof. That is proof that I own myself. Have you noticed, like, whatever breach you hear in the credit thing and you notice that they never get in there and scramble up your debt or scramble up your credit score or scramble up your whatever, and that will never happen. Do you guys understand that? That will never ever happen. And even listen, and even if somebody did get in there and happen to do that, they will be buried under the prison. Do you understand? Those are your slave papers. They cannot be messed up. When I walk into the bank and say, like, I was going to get a business loan, when I walk into the bank and they run my personal credit report and they see no debt, they're going to automatically know that I know, because they don't see credit reports like that. They're going to treat me very differently than they treat a debt slave walking in asking for the same exact loan, but they have 20-year old student loan debt. When you come in asking for a loan and you haven't even paid off your student loans 20 years ago, you don't know nothing. And they're going to treat you as such. That's called business because you don't know. Now, if you're 18, you will never get treated like that because you will know. Your credit report will tell the bank that you know. It is a different, it's a different, when you understand, when you come to the positive side, 18-year-olds, all banks will treat you different because you know. You create a particular pattern that debt slaves do not know because they don't know capitalism is psychological. They don't know. Your life, put it this way, 18-year-olds, your life will be totally different than any person's life in your life today. You will have no stress. You will not be worried about if the economy's up or down. Nobody's getting jobs. None of that. Listen, that is a perspective of life that debt slaves do not know. The positive side of capitalism is a perspective that they do not know exists. Over here, you don't cheat on your taxes because cheating on your taxes would be cheating on yourself. Do you understand? Taxes help build wealth. Let me give you an example of the language that debt slaves don't know exist. When you hear debt slaves complain about taxes and this and that means they don't understand them. That's why they're complaining about them. When you hear debt slaves get emotional about taxes, why are they, when you come to the positive side and look at it, you look at a debt slave and say, why are they getting emotional over a word? Taxes is a word. Just like nail or hammer. If I say nail, do you get emotional? But if I say the word taxes, you do get emotional. That means you don't understand them. That's why you're getting emotional. If you understood them, you would welcome them. But the reason why debt slaves don't like them because they finance them. 18-year-olds. Let me give you another view from the positive side so you can understand, so you don't get caught up in that. You don't want to get caught up in that because there's a lot of problems, stress, divorce, everything that comes with it, which will never be your problem because once you understand what I'm telling you, you will never date a debt slave at all, ever. Not even sex will change your mind, 18-year-olds, I promise you. You wouldn't want to accidentally get a debt slave. No, you wouldn't accidentally want to procreate with a debt slave. You would have problems. That's court dates, weekend visits, all that stuff. You don't have to be part of any of that. Don't be. Your credit report proves that you know. And if you keep it empty your entire life, maybe no, I take that back. One credit card because it just makes it convenient, right? Just one credit card, and I'll tell you about that later. But you keep it empty, your life will be so different than any other persons that you will meet because the majority live on the negative side and they don't know it. All forms of currency, 18-year-olds, are an illusion for them. It doesn't matter if money is paper or digital. They're removing, listen, 18-year-olds, they're removing paper money because it's just simply in the way. No currency has ever, no, all currency is an illusion for people in debt, all of it. It doesn't matter what form it is in because it's an illusion for them. At 18, you are free. You don't listen. You know, I want you to, okay, 18 year, I want you to listen closely, okay? Because I know right now, Everybody around you is shoving college down your throat. And you don't even know what you want to go to school for. But you know what also? Nobody's telling you who's paying for that. As they're pushing college down your throat, nobody's telling you how it's going to be paid for. This is what I want you to do, okay? I'm going to give you a piece of advice from the positive side that you can ask your parents. Now listen closely, because this is psychological, so that they won't know why you're asking them this question. I promise you, okay? They won't know because they think it's normal. You say, "Mom, Dad, do you still have your student loan debt?" And they're going to tell you yes. The majority of them are going to tell, I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority of them are going to tell you yes. Now, at that moment, this is what I want you to think to yourself, okay? I'm 18. Mom and Dad had their student loan debt before I existed. They each went to college for 4 years. You mean to tell me that they've been paying on their college for well over 20 years? And now they want to push me into college and get student loan debt and be just like them. This is all to yourself. You can't say that to them. Because they probably say, "Yeah, why?" And you just say, "Oh, I was just wondering." You just blow it off. They won't think it's a big deal, because the majority of people in student loan debt, they got student loan debt older than their mortgage. If you're 18 and you ask your parents that question, right? Not only for the college stuff, but there's a few things I want you to think about that they don't know, okay? Because they're in it and they're doing it. Everything is simple once you come to the positive side. If they say yes, that means their student loan debt is older than the mortgage of the house that you guys live in today. You can't buy a house with student loan debt older than the mortgage. That means your parents really, really, really don't know. You don't want to be like that. Your parents think they own the house, they think they own the equity, all while having student loan debt as their oldest debt. If student loan debt is your parents' oldest debt, that means everything you see after that is financed, because there's no other way it can be. You don't want to be like that, because you'll be trapped on the negative side for the rest of your life. There are people on the negative side that will never know what I'm sharing with you. You guys understand that? There are very few people here on the positive side. I'm helping people cross from the negative side to the positive side, because just like a battery, there must be a positive and negative. That's the way the universe works. Everybody knows that. You can't go to the Can you go to the auto parts store and get a battery with only a positive side post on it? You think you're gonna start your car? Absolutely not. The people on the positive side, we know that it's psychological, positive and negative. Debt slaves do not. They don't know that they need us. They don't know that. But we know we need them, because everything is them. 18-year-olds, listen, if you make sure you always stay on the positive side, you will get out into the world and realize the 40-hour work week program is a program. It's more than that now. 40-hour work week program is now obsolete. Do you guys know they're the 60 plus hour work week program? And guess what, 18-year-old? I want you guys to listen to this part very closely, okay? Very, very closely listen to this. In your age group, they always neglect good sleep. Oh, I'll sleep when I die. I'll do this and that. Yeah, man, all I do is I grind, man. I grind 24 hours a day. I want you to listen to me closely. What about your brain? The only way your brain can that can heal itself, listen to me closely. Your brain controls everything. You can't do shit without your brain. Do you understand that? You can't grind, you can't sleep when you die, all this other stuff. So you have to, in order for your brain to repair itself, we must be sleep. Everybody knows that. You can't be doing nothing. You can't do nothing. You got to be sleep. And let me tell you, 18-year-old, let me tell you something as a 54-year-old man. When you have no debt, when you have, I broke the 40-hour work week. I don't have a regular job. I have no stress. I have no negativity at whatsoever in my life. I sleep like a baby. My brain gets all the repair it needs. This is why I'm even talking to you today. I'm telling you something billions of people don't know. And I got to master this in the best country in the world. Do you guys understand that? Everybody in the world know capitalism works best here. Everybody. You know why, 18-year-olds? Let me tell you why, 18-year-olds. We got the best stock of debt slaves in the whole entire world. They all believe they own something. Look at them. In houses and cars and fancy cars and jewelry, and they don't own nothing, not even themselves, 18-year-olds. You don't want to be like that. Listen, 18-year-olds, you don't know about tax brackets now, but you will once you understand this knowledge. Do you understand me? Those people, they cannot reduce themselves in their tax bracket. That is 100% mathematically impossible, and they don't know it. Whatever money, listen, whatever money they make, they can't do anything about reducing themselves in their personal tax bracket. Cannot. You don't want to be there. The only way to 18-year-olds, you don't know this yet, but the only way to reduce yourself in your tax bracket, that takes money. You have to have money to do that, which debt slaves have none because they are the money. You don't want to be them. You want to stay here, create a successful business, and you can be as wealthy as you want to be. You want to be an NFL team owner? I can help you do that. You want to be an NBA team owner? I can help you do that too. I can help you do anything you want to do. There's no limits over here on the positive side. Absolutely none. None. Everything is open. You think about life, listen, 18-year-olds, you think about life totally different. Totally different. Let me give you an example. Okay. Let me tell you how I think now. Okay. So you guys, you probably will start thinking like this later. But now that I'm free and I own myself, not only physically, psychologically, I own myself. So now I realize my body is my spacesuit here on Earth. I cannot function. I can't go anywhere. I can't pick up things. I can't breathe. I can't think without my body here. I can't do anything without this body. I can't walk around. I can't enjoy it. Nothing. I think about now I think about football players, what they do for a living with their bodies. Now you think about it this way, 18-year-olds. Now imagine we go to the moon where we have to wear spacesuits because our bodies are not made for the moon. So we had to make a suit. Would you play? And they said, "Hey, we're going to start a football league on the moon. Would you play? Would you play football in your spacesuit on the moon? Hell no, you wouldn't, no matter how much money they would pay you, right? Not even one crack, you're dead. Did you know that's no different here on Earth? Did you guys know that? That's the same thing. This is how you will look at life, 18-year-olds. I look at that. You know what I would do though? Me personally, I would not. But if you want to own an NFL team, because I want you to pay it closely, do you think you will ever see the family members of NFL team owners on that field? Hell no. Are you crazy? Absolutely not. Why? Because that would damage your body. That's your spacesuit. So if you want to own an NFL team and let those pay them the guys to mess up their bodies, go ahead. Yeah, whatever. It's legal. Whatever. When you look at a player, a pro athlete player, and you see how much money they make, don't be impressed by that. Be impressed by the person paying them. That's who the person you want to be. The person that pays LeBron James, Russell Wilson, Mahomes. You want to be the person that writes the check. Listen, you guys don't, this is what you guys can't see when you're on the negative side. Pro athletes are employees just like you. They're employees. They just make a lot more money than you. That's it. They still have employee numbers. They're employees. I can help. Listen, 18-year-old, I can help you be the youngest NFL team owner if you want to be. You want to be that? I can help you be that. They will call you a genius. How are you doing? And how do you know all this? The reason why they're going to be saying that to you, I'm going to let you understand this so you can clearly understand this. They're going to be calling you a genius because they don't know the psychological exists. That's why they're going to be calling you a genius when it's just a calculator. It's bananas. Listen, it's mind blowing. All I'm doing, listen, all I'm doing, you'll see when you see me, when you see this channel blow up, 18-year-olds, they're going to be calling me a genius. How you know more than billions of people and this and that? I'm be like, all I'm doing is telling you guys what I see on the calculator. That is it. I'm not doing anything spectacular. And even with me saying that, you know, they can't hear me when I say that. Even when I say, hey, all I'm doing is telling you what's on the calculator. That's all I'm doing. They can't hear me say that because it's psychological. Do you guys understand? LJ, how do you know that's true? Because there are millions of people with mortgages. That's how I know. You don't want to be that 18-year-old. Your life, listen, 18-year-old, your life will be, you can hop, skip job to job, do everything you want to do. People be like, oh, hey, how come you just won't listen? This was going to debt slaves is going to be saying to you 18-year-olds, oh, you better get your credit up. You better get a job and settle down, man, because you got to start saving for retirement and have your emergency. They're going to be start slave splaining. That's called slave splaining because they don't even know what they're talking about, right? They're going to be trying to push that in your brain. I'm going to prepare you guys for what they're going to say. You have to ignore it all because they're just running the program. They don't know that they can retire. They don't know that retirement is not an age. You can retire anytime you choose. You just got to make up your mind to when you want to do it. That's all you got to do. Anybody, listen, 18-year-olds, so you don't get out here. Here's another, okay. This is a superpower for you 18-year-olds because all the financial scammers out there, they're going to be hitting on you because they're going to think you're gullible. Let me tell you something. Financial scammers at any level, let me tell you, at any level, it doesn't matter. They do not know people like me exist. They do not know. All you have to do, anybody coming up to you trying to say, hey, you want to make some money and this and that, and da da da, first you'll just listen to them. When you hear how debt slaves talk, you'll know immediately if it's a scam. But if you don't quite know, all you got to do is turn to them and say, can I see your personal credit report? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. They're going to be shocked because they will have never had anybody ask them that question because the majority of debt slaves are impressed by stuff, cars, houses, jewelry, whatever. That's an illusion, okay? Don't look at that. You ask for their personal credit report. They're going to be shocked, like, oh shit, nobody's ever asked me that. Make sure when you ask this question, make sure you're looking at them directly in the eyes when you ask them this question, okay? Because it's going to be real quick. They're going to be taken back because nobody will have ever asked them that question before. And then the response is going to come after it. It's either going to be they're going to be offended, or they're going to be like, how dare you ask? That's when you just walk away, because they give you the answer. Because if you came up to me and you said the same thing, let me see your credit report, you know what I would say? Okay, you can see it. No problem. Let me say what's up to the people in the room. I already said, what's up, Wayman? What's going on? What's up, Brandon? Did I say that right? Yeah, Brandon, man. Hey, LJ, new here, a fan of the channel. Is there an updated Discord link? Oh, crap. Okay. Hopefully, let me get somebody to post that link in here, or else I just got to go grab it. Hopefully, Nick is in here. You can post an updated link. Jacui says, I hate how people think that you need to buy a house damn near $2 million for a home in MA, not financing my life away for no way. And you got to remember, Jacquees, mortgages, debt slaves with mortgages make up the housing market. Without them, there is no housing market. Okay. 18-year-olds, you're listening? The housing market is made up of people that don't know that you cannot buy houses with mortgages. Without them, the housing market doesn't exist. The only way, 18-year-olds, you want to be part of that, you want to have a business, own some houses, and you rent them or sell them to debt slaves with mortgages and stuff like that. Because if you understand this knowledge and you say like you're a person that sells houses, you understand that debt slaves have no money, so they must use mortgages. So you have to be part of the system. The banks know that, right? You have to be. So if a debt slave, if say like you're selling a house to a debt slave, and they ask you, do you have a mortgage? You have to say yes. Okay, you're gonna have to say yes, because if you say no, they're gonna be like, whoa, how come you ain't got one and you're trying to sell me? You have to say yes, because you don't want them asking you questions, because you won't make any money, because they don't have any money to buy houses in cash. When's the last time you saw somebody buy a house in cash? Probably very, very few. Very rare that happens. I have about 6,000 worth of debt at 32. Congratulations. But the way these homeowners talk already 450 plus in the hole, you'd assume I was the broke one. That's the program, Jacquees. That's put it this way, Jacquees, you are slowly the reason why it sounds stupid and they don't know is because you're breaking away from that perspective and you're coming here. Pretty soon, Jacquees, when you get here, you're going to pretty much just accept that this is the way it is, because this is the way it's going to be. To you're dead, I'm dead. It's going to be that way. It's been here for 250 years already. Yep, they got me with the college programming, was pushing heavily. Yep. You know what? That's just okay, 18-year-olds, I want you guys here. I'm going to bring you to the positive side. And this is just my opinion. This is just what I see. At 18, they get you early. They own you early. Because once you're locked in with the student loan debt, the only way out is to pay it off. So at age 18, you are owned by the government. You guys got to understand that you're owned. When you get a debt that you cannot bankrupt, that means you are owned. Like, let me give you another example. 18-year-olds, because I know some 18-year-olds were gullible enough to do it, because you got people that been here on earth longer than you coming at you with more money than you ever seen in your life at age 18. Of course, that could be any amount of money. That could be $1,000. Get you involved in the PPP fraud scam and blah, blah, blah. And then you do it. You don't know the consequences. And then you get caught. Now you are owned. Do you guys understand that? You are owned for the rest of your life. Now at 18, you're thinking, "Oh, I just got probation and I didn't get any jail time." No, it's much bigger than that. You are now stamped with a federal crime for the rest of your life. That means that stamp says the federal government owns you. That's the stamp on your record. That's what that means. Now, at 18, the whole world is open for you right now. When you turn 18, you're a legal adult. Now, every single opportunity is available to you. It's all now, some with outside of other things just happening, it's up to you to keep it that way. You are the one that if you make the wrong choice, you will start to limit your opportunities in this world. At 18, you don't really understand what that means. You are still a kid. Don't get me wrong. You are still a kid, which is nice, but it's also dangerous because you believe at 18, all my friends are going to be here for we're friends for life because you guys all say the same thing. We're friends till we die and this and that. Yeah, you think that at 18 and 20. You really believe that, but you totally forget that you're going to get older and it's not going to be that. All of that's going to change. Everything changes. When you decide to come out of that, are you going to come out of that with a record, limited opportunities, things that you did at 18, early 20s? Now you're in your 30s, you're changing, you're looking for a better job, trying to improve your life, but that stamp on your record that you got from PPP fraud at age 18 is holding you back. Yes. Oh, I can't get a passport? No, now you can't see the rest of the world because of what you did at 18. I know you, oh, I don't want to go nowhere anyway. I know you think that now. I know you believe that. But let me tell you something, 18-year-old, that is a perspective, a very limited one. There is only one world and each person has their own perspective of it. There are millions of perspectives, and each one of them has their own perspective of our US economy. Each one of them do, when there's only one, and that's the mathematical one. They don't know that. You understand this at 18. Don't be another person out here complaining about taxes and this and that. When you hear somebody complaining about taxes, just say to yourself, there's nothing you could do about it but leave the United States of America. So why are you complaining about it? Understand it, understand its purpose. And then once you come to the positive side, you clearly understand its purpose and how to become wealthy from it. Taxes are not evil and bad. They're used to shift and move. Hey, maybe they want that land over there. All they got to do is raise taxes and move people out. Listen, you guys, 18-year-olds, you guys don't understand. The banks know everybody's situation because they all have mortgages. So they know what areas they want to move. If there's a large area where people have it struggling, listen, struggling paying their mortgages, all they got to do is raise the taxes and that'll be it. They're out. That's just how it works. When you come to the positive side, you understand that it's not a big deal because once you come to the positive side, you will create a successful business. You will become very wealthy. And guess what? Guess who pays your taxes no matter where you live? Debt slaves pay your taxes. That's when you become that's when you legally never pay taxes because you understand that debt slaves pay your taxes. Say it like this. I own my house. All right. All that's left is taxes to pay every year. Okay. Every year. Okay. Now I own a business, a very successful business. Who's paying the taxes on my house? Is it me or is it my business? My business is paying the taxes. So taxes are not a big deal. They're just part of it. When you hear somebody, oh man, taxes, but you got to watch out for the taxes. This is how to do. Hey, listen, when you hear somebody talking like that, you need to understand this. That means they don't understand it because they're talking about it like that. You got to turn to that person and say, why are you getting your feelings involved every time you bring up the word taxes? Why are you doing that? I'm joking. Don't do that because they won't understand what you're saying. Coding says, how you doing, LJ? Did you figure out the CPA and how to see if they, no, not yet. I'm still working on that. They know, I'm still working on that. I promise you guys, I will keep you updated because I have to do it. Okay. This is not something that I'm telling you guys I'm gonna do and not do it. This is something I have to do because I have to do it for myself. Like when I was in South Carolina, I got lucky. I found the first person, asked him the question. He happened to be personally debt free, and I just got lucky. So hopefully I'll get lucky like that. But if I don't, I'm gonna let you guys know. I promise you. I promise you. That is right. Do not do that to yourself. Yeah, do not for sure. What's up, Alonzo? What's going on, sir? Which said, Alonzo, LJ, I'm offended. I own my pledge of payment till death. I mean, hey, listen. Alonzo, that's going to be like drip torture for you now. Now you know. You know what? Even let me tell you something, Alonzo. Your story would be very interesting to me, honestly, because here you are listening to S&D knowledge, and you have a mortgage. Now you know, and you're in it. I couldn't even imagine it. What's that like? Like, damn, I know that it only takes one day to buy a house, and I got a 30-year mortgage. I've been in for 15 or whatever it is, right? That's got to be different, very different. Tinfoil hat. You can show them the math, how they don't own the house. They still believe they are owned. Yes, that's part of the program, Tinfoil hat. So again, when you guys come to this perspective, completely, okay, I know you guys can see it. Don't get me wrong, but you're like, oh my God, how could they not see it? They're so stupid, you know. But then when you come to this perspective and say, oh, shit, the housing market wouldn't exist without them. Then you're like, oh, okay, I got it. I got why they do that. Because now they believe it's 40 years. And they're incredible amounts of debt. I used to prospect at NBA draft in the Barclays. And okay, all right. I couldn't do it. I just could not do it. But my realtor and mortgage guy said that if I buy a house, okay, counts on how you saying buy, and the more. Oh, okay, you're saying, okay. Let's reread that. My realtor and mortgage guy said that if I finance a house and rent it out, and the mortgage is $1,500, and I charge $2,000, I'm cash flowing $500. Well. Now you know, Alonzo, that is not true, okay? You now understand, sir, that it is 100% impossible to cash flow from a mortgaged rental property. That's 100% impossible. You cannot, okay? Truth be told, I fell into that. That's okay. That is okay. No problem. I didn't have a car or debt, and people wouldn't do business. Now I went and financed a Benz, and now people are impressed and want to do business with me. Okay. And listen, Lonzo, all right. Look at this as a lesson. Don't look at it like, oh, I effed up, you know, and this and that. All of this is part of you coming out because you got to feel why you don't do what you did. Like right now, you're feeling it, right? I guarantee you when you get out, because you will, because you're talking to me, you will get out. I promise you. You will never feel that again. You know what it feels like. You'll never forget what it feels like, and will never happen again. So what you'll do is get out of debt, and you will do the same thing you're doing now to do whatever you need to do to impress the debt slaves to buy from you, whatever. It doesn't. But this time, when you get out of debt, you'll finance a Benz under your business to impress the customers, and they will pay for the Benz and all the other stuff that comes with it. I get it. The IRS understands. They know what people have to do to get money into the system from the debt slaves. You have to impress them, have to make them look like you got money and this, whatever. It's all part of business. It's okay though. It's okay. Oh, talking to Alonzo. Okay. All right, but I'll have it paid off in full by this time next year. Okay. All right. Yeah, when I showed my pay stubs to the car salesperson, he was like, "Oh, why don't you just buy it in cash?" LOL. I'm self-employed, so I couldn't do that. I hadn't paid taxes yet. Yeah, true. Yeah, you definitely do not want to. And here, let me say something there too, Alonzo. Okay, because you don't. I could tell by reading this, you don't know yet. Okay, but you're coming. I can tell by the way you're talking. You're coming, right? You're like, hey, I can't buy this in cash because I haven't paid taxes yet. When you come to the positive side, you will always have money to pay taxes. So you will never have to work. First of all, when you understand how it works, you either will not pay taxes at all or there'll be very little. Because let me tell you something. The first year I got into business, it's kind of all over the place. Okay. You don't really, even though I had S&D knowledge, I didn't have business knowledge yet, right? So I had to understand all the pieces and all this stuff. But this following year, I paid zero in federal taxes because I understand how it works. Now, people don't come out the gate paying zero in federal taxes. They don't come out the gate like that, doing that. And the only reason why only reason why I was able to do that is because I have S&D knowledge. I understand that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. Everything when you come to the positive side, Alonzo, there's a pattern that is created when you do business and business transactions. What I mean by that, everything is very simple. Okay. I collect payment with this system. The money goes into this business bank account. Okay. And then when I do my taxes, this professional tax business that has an excellent reputation with the IRS does my taxes. Every transaction that I buy for the business, anything I buy from the business comes out of the business account only, nothing else. There's no random food. It's business, right? And when you submit this paperwork, very few people submit simplified paperwork to tax people like that. Okay, people that don't understand, it's all over the place. They be mixing business and personal funds, buying personal stuff with the business account. That's easy to see when you look at it. I guarantee you, a tax person can easily see if somebody doesn't understand about mixing funds or they're hiding money, because it all has to make mathematical sense. It has to. If there's large gaps in the math, you have to explain that. You got to explain it. Like, what happened here? I'm currently a conscious debt slave. Congratulations. You ever have people try to stop you from becoming debt free? Of course, they all are going to try to stop you from. That's why you have to be quiet. This is the part, as you become debt free, Brandon, you will realize that you cannot tell everybody because you're going to lose your friends. You're going to have to keep your achievements of paying off debt, or as you pay off each debt, you're kind of happy and it feels great. You can't tell the people that don't know, because they're not going to be happy for you because they're in debt. Like, when I put it this way, when I broke the 40-hour work week, my friends, not I'm not going to say all my friends, but there was one or two friends that I had to let go because I understood that they didn't care. They wasn't happy about my achievements. Those people have to be removed, because I'm not only am I on the positive side of the capitalism, I'm on the positive side of my life. So my perspective of the world is very different. I don't allow any negativity. See, you haven't got to, once you, Brandon, what you're doing right now is you're achieving the ownership of yourself. That's step number one. Once you reach that and you feel the freedom and you're able to do anything, the next thing you're going to do is the freedom side psychologically. You're going to have to free your mind of all the fears, false evidence appearing real psychologically. First, you're going to get rid of all the negative people out of your life. That's going to be step number one. And then the last piece is going to be yourself. Anything you're going to have to deal with that you haven't dealt with, somebody you got to say something to or apologize or let them know that whatever it's going to be, you're going to have to take care of that. Once you take care of all those fears, then you reach where I'm at. Once you reach here, there are no limits. You guys already know, and I'm showing to the followers right now. I'm showing you guys now. You guys understand that nobody anywhere on any platform, anywhere in the world does what I do. Nobody. Who can claim that? I can, and I'm proving it. This is what's waiting for you, SMD family. I thought freedom was just the debt slaves. I mean, I thought it was just the physical getting out of debt. Oh, there's more. You guys have no idea how my brain has expanded with wonderful, wonderful sleep. It's getting all the brain repair it needs. I had no idea how important that was until now. I did not know that. I let nobody fuck with my sleep. Nobody. Phone is off. I don't hear no buzzing, no ringing, no nothing. Because you guys don't understand. Like when you're in a deep sleep and your phone buzz, has you noticed it goes straight into your dream or whatever you're dreaming. You hear that buzz as clear as day. That's not good. If that phone shakes or dings and you grab it, the phone owns you. That means your brain is attached to that phone. That doesn't happen with me. Nothing is attached to my brain that I don't want it to be. And young people, 18-year-olds, the new Apple Vision Pros, oh man, congratulations to Apple. They're going to get millions of you guys. They already got loyal people. I used to always wonder too, 18-year-olds, I used to always wonder, why is Apple keeping their phone the same way for the last decade? Do they know they're going to shoot themselves in the foot for doing that? They know debt slaves love shiny new things. They're going to let Elon come in and swoop in and take over the market here too. And they came out with the Vision Pros. I said, God damn. Spatial computing. Goodbye, big screen TV makers. You don't even need big screen. You don't even need to buy big screen TVs no more. You guys are never coming out of that world. Guess what? Now you're not even going to use your phone anymore. Now the only purpose they're going to have their phones for is for internet access for now. Apple already knew phones were going away. Apple already knew that. Phones are going bye-bye. Hey, listen, not anytime soon. I'm just telling you how it starts. This is where it starts. You think people are going to want to pull off their Vision Pros to look at a text or answer the phone? Hell no. When they could do it inside the Vision Pros, goodbye phones. And let me show you some 18-year-olds on the positive side so you can see how this works, okay? So you can one day compete with Apple if you wish. Yes, Apple. I said it. Debt slaves have no money. Apple Vision Pros are $3,500. How do you think they purchased those? credit, Apple Afterpay. So let me tell you how Apple's making so much money. Apple Afterpay, which only debt slaves use Apple Afterpay, Apple credit cards. We will never see the numbers, but I guarantee you 80% of the people buying Apple Vision Pros are using Apple Afterpay. Do you guys understand that? How do I know this? You're probably thinking, well, how do you know that, LJ? How do you know all the people use Apple Afterpay? Because Afterpay businesses are attached to all businesses. Why do you think it's there? Because debt slaves have no money. They make payments on everything. You most definitely believe they're making payments on $3,500 Apple Vision Pros. Do not be jealous of people that have them. All you got to do is say, are you making payments on those? Yeah. Who cares what they are then? Who cares? Now, don't get me wrong. Apple Vision Pro is about to change the world. I'm just going to wait for the second version. Because what you guys don't know at 18, you know what Apple Vision Pros remind me of? The first cell phone that came out back in the days, it was a cord just like that, hanging off your ear to a battery pack that you held around your shoulder, and you're walking around talking on the phone. Everybody thought that was cool as hell back in the day. Back in the day, if you saw somebody walking down the street with a phone with no wires, but they had a big ass battery pack shoulder, you thought that was cool. That's why you guys think these Apple Vision Pros are cool with the big pack. It's just the same. It's the same thing. Don't get me wrong. It is cool. Don't get me wrong. It is. But just not the first version. I'm not getting the first version. Here, let me give you another example. 18-year-olds. Now look at the Tesla Model 3. Okay. You guys don't really look at it this way. The Tesla Model 3. When I first saw that car, which was the first version, right? I used to look at the front end. I used to say to myself, that is ugly. Why did they make the front end? Now they came out with the refresh of the same Model 3, changed the front end, the back end. They listened to their customers. It looks like a totally new car. It makes all the old Teslas instantly look old, instantly. When they refresh the same car, make it look better, that all the people that financed the old model Tesla 3, that shit drops. You guys understand that? They go further underwater in the current one they're in. So this is what they do. They'll take that car, trade it in for the refresh, bring in all the negative equity into the new car loan, and be deeper in debt with the new refresh model. That's how business works. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, 18-year-old, why would they allow them to do that? Why would they allow them to bury themselves deeper in debt over a car? Because if they didn't, they wouldn't make any car sales. Because the majority of debt slaves are upside down in their cars. So if they said no to everybody that was upside, that owed more on their car than what it was worth, they wouldn't sell any cars. That's how it works. And listen, if you don't know that doing that is very, very bad, that's why they're doing it, because that tells everybody that they don't know. First of all, you don't know if you're just financing a car regularly, okay? And you put money down, you finance the rest. You don't know there because you're financing a car. It doesn't take 84 months to buy a car. It only takes one day. Now, if you're coming in financing a car for 84 months with negative equity on the car that you're trading in, which pushes you deeper and deeper and deeper into debt, and they approve you and you sign on the dotted line, you really, and you drive off thinking you're saving money on gas because you're driving an electric car and it's the newest, latest model, you really don't know. 18-year-olds, you don't want to be that. If you listen to me at 18, if you listen to me at 18, everybody will wonder, why are you not stressed? Why are you never complaining about problems? Why are you never how come you're never begging for overtime? How come you barely work? How come you're not working 40 plus hours like them? No, 60 plus. How come you don't have two jobs like them and you live in a nice house, live in a nice apartment, and you drive a nice car? How? How are you doing that? That's what they're going to do. They're not going to know. And if you turn, when you turn to them, if you want to, okay, you're going to have to learn something, 18-year-olds, if you follow me. How, excuse me, how to talk to debt slaves, because you cannot tell them. So if you don't want to get in, when you hear them start talking about financing and how they got a great deal on this car that they got it on sale, but you hear that they financed it for 84 months. They don't know nobody gets a finance car on sale. They don't know that, but you cannot say that to them. So you either going to have to be, if you want to keep your friends as you go through life, if you want to keep your friends, you have to be quiet. If they finance a car, you can't tell them that was dumb. If they finance a house and do the housewarming gifting, you can't walk in and say, you can't buy a house with a mortgage, because they won't be your friends anymore. You cannot do that. So you either there's two things gonna happen. You either gonna find new friends that understand, or you're going to be very miserable around your current friends when you hear them talking about when you hear them talking about financing and investing and doing all this other stuff while having car payments and mortgages and student loans. You will know that they're not doing nothing. That would be like drip torture for me. I can't be around people like that. Oh man, look, I got the brand new 2024 this and that. Look, it has all this and that. It's like, and they finance it for 84 months. Traded in their old car with negative equity, and they have a mortgage. Working 60 plus. Can you believe that? Listen, 18-year-olds, you don't want to get caught up in this. Listen the way I say this, okay? There are debt slaves out there working 60 plus hours a week with a mortgage. They're they're spending more time at work than the home that than they paying a mortgage on. So they spend all their time at work to pay on a mortgage in a house that they're never in. How do you expect to maintain a relationship, a marriage, be there for your children, and all working 60 plus hours a week? You can't. That's impossible. If you understand this, 18-year-olds, if you understand what I'm telling you, you're not gonna marry, date, procreate anybody that doesn't have the same understanding. You won't. And when you do find that person that has the same understanding and you guys do procreate and have children, guess what you're going to pass down to your children? This same knowledge. And when they grow up, guess what happens? They become wealthy and rich too. It doesn't matter how the economy changes. You're probably thinking, well, it's going to be different. It's not the same. It doesn't matter. Long as it's capitalist, it doesn't matter what the economy does. There will always be debt slaves. There will always be people on the negative side, and there will always be people on the positive side, because economies cannot work without humans. Hey, the robots are taking over. They're taking jobs and this and that. Do robots consume? Do robots finance cars? When you start hearing that robots are taking over and this and that, do robots finance cars? No, put it this way. Do the robots finance the cars that they build? Oh, robots are making hamburgers and fries. Do robots eat hamburgers and fries? They don't finance stuff. That's how it works. If nobody's there to finance anything, nothing. Robots don't need to build anything. Do you guys understand that's how it works? The only thing that changes is debt slaves' functions in the economies. Like right now, let me tell you what I see. The function of debt slaves: delivering shit. You guys function if you choose. If you listen, if you choose to stay on the negative side, let me tell you your future job. Amazon warehouses and any other type of system that comes in like Amazon with the same type of warehouses, because you better believe there's going to be competition coming in, and that's where you're going to work. And then you're going to be delivering all the stuff. I see you guys videos working for different companies, working 24 hours a day, living in your car. That's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life if you keep choosing that. Because everything is delivery now. You got work from home. Listen, it's work from home now. People aren't even leaving anywhere. People are getting obese because they don't have to leave anywhere. Now you can come to the positive side and own a company that helps deliver stuff. You can become a business owner. You come to the positive side and you just adapt. Because I see what's happening for the debt slaves. You guys are in trouble. And when you break, listen, 18-year-olds, this is what debt slaves don't know, 18-year-olds. When you break when you break the 40, when you get out of debt, you break the 40-hour work week program, you get on the positive side and you create a business, and then you look back at jobs and wages and all this other stuff and break times. Oh man. And listen, and they finance taxes. Debt slaves finance taxes. Do you guys understand that, 18-year-olds? You do not want to do that. What's up, Nick? Hey, Nick, can you do me a favor and post the latest Discord link in here, sir? I'd really appreciate it. You better believe that's coming. Smart lenses? Oh yeah, they're probably already on that. This what I'm gonna tell you guys, okay? And when I say this, I'm not saying that the government's hiding something from us and all this other stuff. It just is, okay? It just is. All right. Now that I'm free, both physically and mentally, I always think back when I got into computers. I got into computers in the late 90s. Okay, when I was late 20s. Okay. When I got into, they'd start teaching you the history of computers, what happened, who built the first one. Well, they told me the internet was invented in 1969. That was the year I was born. Okay. Now the internet really started reaching us in the late 90s, coming home, dial up, all that other stuff. And that's what, almost 30 years later. So this is how I think. So if it's 2024, I'm gonna go ahead and think 30 years out. Do they have smart lenses? I'm pretty sure they do. Like here we are with drones and everything, drones flying around with cameras and doing all this other stuff. They've been had that technology. That's why we have it today. You think they're gonna give us the latest technology? Absolutely not. If I listen, I have a gift. I know something that billions with a B do not know. Okay, that's a gift. Okay. I'm not naive enough to believe that I'm the only one with a gift. This gift was given to me by God. God gives everybody gifts. You just have to find it. How do I know it's a gift? Because I know billions of people don't know. That makes it a gift. I just saw on the news someone was driving with their. I saw that too. I did see that. Just stupid shit. Just dumb stuff. People look at you weird when you pay cash for something in full and don't need to make payments. I know. I did that the other day. I went to go buy some tires for my truck, and it came to $1,800. And the guy says, "Are you doing debit or credit?" I said, "Debit," and he gave me this look like, "Oh." All right, listen, people in debt. If you want to have an idea, now I'm not saying this is a probability, okay? This is not for sure, but if you want to know if the person around you might have some money or a person that you may think have money, when you go, if you happen to be with that person during a large purchase and they pay with it with debit, you might be with somebody with some money. Okay. Like say like you went somewhere and a purchase of $3,000 and you hear the person say credit or debit, and the person says, "Oh, debit," and you got to look like, "Oh, okay," because debt slaves can't do that. That's why I said Apple Vision Pros are $3,500. You think debt slaves have no money? They have student loan debt. They don't have $3,500. They have student loan debt. LJ, my coworker, and her husband financing a house to finish the deal next week. She's so desperate to be a mortgage slave. She thinks getting a deal. I know, but she's part of the program, Ulysses. That's the perspective. SMD family, I want you guys to really understand this. There is no housing market without them. Okay? Now, once you let that really sink in, your perspective will change like it is mine. I accept that this is the way it is, that without the banks, listen, the majority, 99% of the real estate that you see, when you go out and drive outside your house, down the street, downtown, no matter where you go, 99% of the realty that you see is bank owned. The people in them are the equity. Do you guys understand? They are the equity. So if you drive down the waterfront and you see people in the condos and they have mortgages, they are the equity in those condos. Do you guys understand that? It's them. They own nothing. The price is outrageous, and she complains every day that she needs a raise. Oh my God. Oh, complaining about a raise, and she's getting a mortgage. They think it's see how I'm laughing, but it has to be that way, you guys. It has to be. That's why, listen, when I was debt free for the last year, and 18-year-olds, you want, listen, 18-year-olds, if I can get you to understand this now, and you never even be parts of the working program, the 7 days a week, and Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday off, maybe, well, that no longer exists anymore. Let me take that back. Listen, 18-year-olds, debt slaves are working 7 days a week now. They work weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and all through the week. You do not want to be part of that. If you get in debt, that will be your life. Because once you come to the positive side and you see wages, listen, you see their wages, and that's gross. That's their wages minus taxes. And then on top of that, they're financing taxes and paying interest on it. On a regular hourly wage that taxes are being taken, they'll never get out of that. Never. That's an endless loop that they will be in. You don't want to be part of that ever. You just watch them in their houses and driving their fancy cars. Let them, hey, listen, it doesn't matter as long as you become wealthy on the outside of it. They don't know that. 18-year-olds, you can open a bank account today, right? And put in the money that you made over the summer, say like it's $200. Okay, listen, 18-year-olds, you just now open a bank account, you put in the money, $200 into your savings account, whatever. Do you know you're financially ahead of millions of people at that moment? Millions in the United States of America. Millions of people. The only problem is that you just don't know it because you don't have nobody like me to tell you that. Millions of people. When you start stacking your money, let me tell you something. Most likely your parents are in debt too, right? You listen to what I'm saying. You go out and do the job thing because you have to have a job to make some money. You have to do that, whatever. But it's different for you because you're not in debt. So every penny that you make at your job minus taxes, you get to keep. You stack your dough, you keep stacking. All the while, you're thinking about what type of business you're going to do. You're going to use this knowledge, what type of business you're going to create with this knowledge that you learned from SMD. And then as you start stacking your money, you start automatically giving your parents rent. Give them like $500 a month. Just give it to them. Make it automatically in your bank account, transfer your account to their account. Don't even have them ask you. Just give it to them. For two reasons. That's going to teach you responsibility. And number two, you're never going to find rent that cheap ever in your life. So do it. That will keep them out of your hair. They won't bother you while you stack your dough. Hey, that'll keep them from saying, why don't you just stay at this company and work here for 50 years and get a good retirement? They'll stay out of your hair as long as you're giving them money. Because if your parents are in debt, they will not understand what I'm telling you. People at my job act shocked. Hold up. People at my job act shocked and some look frustrated that I'm always in a good mood and never a bad day. I know, but you know what it is? Because that's their life. 18-year-olds, you will live a life of positivity, no stress, really, really good sleep. Every time you go to sleep, you'll have some really good sleep because you won't have no problems and stress from debt and bill problems. You'll sleep like a baby. Your brain will get all the repair it needs, and you will just I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Because people underestimate the brain. I think about it like this. I think about all the years I worked 40 plus hours a week as a network engineer. I was a network engineer, you guys know. And you get those night calls. They call you up because y'all was the only one that knew about the VMware system and this and that. Work it. Listen, and I want the IT people to really understand what you don't see when you're in it and when you're in debt, when you're making six figures in debt, right? I was an IT engineer. They said, okay, they hired me. They said, we're going to pay you for this and you're on salary. This is how much you're going to make. But they used to always call me after hours, send me emails, call me in the middle of the night because I was the only one that knew about the system and this and that, even when I wasn't on call. What I now realize is this. Anything outside of the contract they were paying me was free. So if they paid me X amount of money for X amount of hours per week, but they could call me and get me on the phone and get me to do work anytime they wanted, guess what? They're paying me 40 hours a week for 24-hour access to my life. There is no way I would allow that today. That would never happen again. Today, if I was debt free and had the same job, I would not have allowed that. I would not have allowed to add them put an app on my phone. That wouldn't happen. I would have had a separate phone. All right. They pay me. On call is part of the job. Okay, cool. For 1 week, they can call you 24 hours a day. They pay you for that. Cool. I understand that. But anything outside of that is for free. So today I would have had a separate phone. And when I wasn't on call, guess what I would have did? Left that phone in the desk. I wouldn't have brought it with me. And they wouldn't have had my personal number. So once I left at 5, there would have been no way they could contact me. Why would they? Because they're not paying me. I remember there was a few times that I'd be at a kid's game, my son's game, and then I would get an emergency call. Oh, everybody got to get online. So now I got to break away from my son's game. They didn't pay me for that. And I just lost a moment in time forever because of a job. I would never, ever, ever allow that ever today, ever. 18-year-olds, if you get out here and create your own business, you will never get caught up in that kind of stuff, because when you own your own business, you get to do what the fuck you want to do when you want to do it. Gone are the 15-minute breaks and the 30. They do you dead slave so bad. They put you in those warehouses and give you guys like 30-minute lunches, but the lunchroom is across the whole facility where you check out at. Oh, hell no. No, absolutely not. And on top of that, just 30 minutes? You can't even relax in 30 minutes with the kind of work you guys do. But let me tell you something, that's a choice. For you guys that work in those warehouses, you guys are choosing that. If you making car payments, you're choosing to work there. If you just if you work in a Amazon warehouse and you just finance some new Apple Vision Pros with Apple Afterpay, you are choosing to work in the Amazon warehouse under those conditions that I hear about. I don't even know if they're true. I don't know if they're true. I'm just saying what I hear what people say. I don't think Amazon's bad. I don't think Amazon's not doing anything to me because I choose not to work there. I see you young people all the time on live making videos, you working in the Amazon warehouse. Why are you doing that? If you're one of those people doing that, have your phone set up and you're on your thing live, and then you come across my channel and you understand what I do and you get out, you're going to be embarrassed of yourself doing that. You're going to realize what it means to do that. But you don't know that when you're young. You just think it's cute and it's funny and all your friends are seeing you at your job and all this other stuff. Whatever. They're not the only ones looking. Because if you're at work and you got your phone set up, you're not really taking that job serious. They're working on your replacement. They're looking for somebody that does not set up a phone at that particular job, because if you're setting up the phone and you're looking at it and you're doing whatever, that means you're taking away time from the job that they're paying you for. They got cameras everywhere. They're watching you. Yeah, I'm always asked why. Oh, yeah, okay. Why you never frustrated with bills or stress? I keep it simple, debt free. Everything's simple. Everything. Like my mailbox, when I go to my mailbox, nothing's in there but junk mail or something that I ordered. And a few bills like the light bill or the internet bill. I still make those be paper because they like to pull shit on sometimes. I just like to look at it. Especially the internet cable company. I never make that no paperless and all that stuff. I be looking at those bills because they like to pull shit. Oh, we're changing this. We don't use outside emails no more. Something to make you not get your bill, and now it's your problem. Now you got to figure out, be on the phone with them for hours to get it reversed and all this stuff. Nope, you're not tricking me no more. Malls are becoming ghost towns because of online. Sure are. They're out of here. Malls are out of here. When the Apple Vision gets cheaper, the obesity rate will definitely increase. Oh, it's increasing now. Fast food is being delivered to home. Do you guys understand what that means? Obesity. Once this is my prediction, so you guys can really understand what's about to happen. And this is just my prediction. Okay. You guys see the prices of Uber, rideshare, how much it costs. That's about to change dramatically because Tesla is about to take it over, which is going to dramatically drop the prices of deliveries and Uber lifts and all this and ride shares. How do I know this? Because right now Teslas are everywhere. Do you guys understand that? They're everywhere. Tesla's playing chess. They're testing their driverless software as we speak. It's almost perfected. They know more of the routes of the whole entire world because they have their people that finance their cars doing it for them. Do you guys understand? This is how business works. They obviously have the biggest, most accurate roadmap of the United States of America, because all the millions of debt slaves that finance their cars find them for them. Plus, on top of that, a large majority of you guys that are doing these rideshare deliveries and all this other stuff, you guys are not paying your fucking taxes. The IRS knows exactly how much they're losing every single year. You know how? Because all the people you work for are paying their taxes. That means they tell the IRS everybody that they have paid and still are paying. So they know exactly how much you guys are not paying in taxes. Do you guys understand that? And once Tesla is approved, which they will be, ride shares are going to drop because all the people who finance cars, guess who Tesla's fleet are going to be? All the people financing cars that are in trouble making their payments. Oh my God, I don't want to lose my car. I'll make it part of the ride share and I'll just catch the bus or some stupid shit. They will have the people. First of all, it'll be a requirement to upgrade your Tesla. If you don't have a driverless software, that's going to be a requirement. And guess what you guys are going to do? Finance it. Every single car will have to be up to spec to be something and have this and that. Who's going to pay for that? You. Every car has to be ready to go and fully charged during a particular time zone that we may need your car. Who knows how they're going to set the shit up? And then you guys are going to charge it on your dime, just so you can have maybe a portion of your car payment paid for. You don't realize that they have a whole fleet now with you guys removed, because you guys will be removed, the ones that are driving and delivering shit with not paying your taxes. You guys won't have a job anymore. You guys will have to go back to regular W-2 work where the IRS will get all the money that you didn't pay. Because you better believe Tesla will be paying all of their taxes because they understand how it works. You don't create a huge company and not pay your taxes. Well, you think the IRS are not going to know? You think they'll sit around and say, "Have you heard of Tesla? How long have they been around?" I don't know. That doesn't happen. Obviously, it doesn't happen. Problem solved. And listen, and they're going to lower and they're going to lower prices. And listen, it's more ands. And they're going to get a part of the market share that nobody has gotten yet of the ride share. What part is that? Well, you're probably thinking, what part is that? People that want to order food, but they don't trust the drivers, the human drivers. Now that the human drivers are eliminated, that will go up for the people that now know that nobody will touch their food between the restaurant. Even restaurant owners are going to be happy. Now they don't have to worry about their food because you guys don't even they probably don't even give you guys these numbers, but I guarantee you restaurants lose a lot of money from lost or stolen food, been touched or whatever, right? Now they got to replace it for the customer. All of that is now gone because once they put it into the Tesla, they know nobody's going to touch it but the customer. That's a trifecta, you guys. Do you guys understand that? That means all the cities that are being delivered in and food, they're gonna all get their portion of the taxes guaranteed. Do you guys understand that? You better believe cities are gonna approve that shit. They don't have to worry about you guys not paying you, setting up your business inside of their city, but you're not paying your city taxes and you're ignoring their phone calls and all of that is eliminated now. All of it will be eliminated. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it, sir. Malls and some cinemas are definitely, I know. I wonder what movie theaters are going to do, close down. Because think about it. Think about it. With the Apple Vision Pros, I saw a video the other day. You can pretend like you are in an actual movie theater. And it looks like you are in the movie theater. Goodbye, cinemas. Goodbye, big screen TV manufacturer makers. You guys are out of business. They don't even need them. And then think about it. Once Apple gets them really wrapped up in there, then they're gonna start charging for shit. Oh, you want this? You want to be able to do this in your spatial space or your spatial computing space? This is going to be a monthly fee and all this other stuff. Man, the money to be made in Apple world is going to be endless. Elon Musk recently tested implants, microchips in a person. See, it's happening. It's happening. I recently bought a Steam Deck OLED on debt recently, on debit, excuse me, recently, and I got a shocked look. You gotta love it, man. I love it. I love it when they give me that shocked look. Let me explain to the SMD family members. When you own yourself first, and then you come on to the other side, the Sixth Sense side, it's the channel, it's the to understanding where I'm at today. You vibrate at a different rate. So you give off a certain energy. So wherever I go now, people always talk to me, always. But now I'm used to it because now I know why. I know why they're talking to me. They don't know why because I'm different. They don't know I'm different unless I tell them. When you have no problems, no stress, no issues, you really do walk around and you look inviting and everybody's, I can only imagine because I just don't, if I put it this way, when I get caught in traffic, I don't really care because I know it's a rare thing. It's not, when it's not an everyday thing to get caught up in traffic. Traffic doesn't bother you. So somebody dips in and tries to cut me off, I back up. I give them all the room they want. I don't really. I went and then say like they jump over and then I drive past them. Guess what I do? I just look straight. I don't really care what you. If this was every day for me, if the traffic was every day, it probably would bother me. But it's not every day for me. I'm just listening to music. I think, oh, I should have took the long route. I should have went around this way. Well, whatever. I'll eventually get to the exit. My fiance grew up all around mortgages, and they think that you need to finance a house. Yes, they do. Yeah, you better hurry up and finance a house. You're going to be priced out of the market. Debt slaves don't even know they've always been priced out the market because they have no money to buy a house. There is no price that exists. Debt slaves have absolutely no money to buy anything. I want you guys to really understand this, okay? I want you guys to understand this. If Apple didn't offer Apple Afterpay, you guys would have seen it in the sales because they wouldn't have sold shit. I mean, I'm not going to say they wouldn't have sold nothing, but that would have dramatically affected the sales. You guys understand that? Why? Because debt slaves do not have $3,500. I now see why hourly is better. It sure is SPIV. I was one of the debt slaves that believed salary was better than hourly. I sure did. I was like, yeah, I don't have no hourly wage. I have a salary because, sometimes if I don't work, I still get paid. Oh, yeah. But the opposite is true, too. They're going to work your ass like a slave, too, and no extra money. An hourly wage, if you stick to it, you get paid for every hour you work. So if they said, hey, can you stay a little longer? You're getting paid. I invested in Amazon stock and Tesla stock. I would, I'm not saying I give advice, but I would do that too. People are like, oh man, Tesla's not going to be around. I'm like, where do you live? I'm like, they're making trucks. They're making semi-electric trucks. They're putting everybody out of business. You see them, listen, you see the move that Apple made? Now Tesla got to think twice. Now like, oh shit, we didn't see that one coming. We didn't see that. Uh-oh. Because you got to have some smart people working for you for spatial computing. I guarantee you that. You could put a 4K screen, make it as big as you want, and it still be 4K inside of the goggles. That's amazing. You can put something somewhere, make it stay there. You can walk around the house. That is the future. You guys understand that? Apple is the beginning of the future. Spatial computing. That's what it is. And you can see what they did was, this is what they did. So you guys that don't know what they did, they took your phone. Your phone is the same thing as spatial computing. You had your phone, but you can still look around the world. You can look over to your TV, like you're sitting on your couch. Your TV is stationary. So if you want to stop looking at your phone and look at your TV, you can do it. So what they did was take what you already was doing and put it inside the goggles. Now you're doing the exact same thing, but without the phone. They knew the phone was going bye-bye. They knew it. They already knew. They were like, oh, okay, why bother to change it? Why bother to change the design and make it flip and flop and fold when we don't even need a phone anymore? Apple probably already has the next design already in the works. They're probably this is when you get out of the 40-hour work week program job stuff, right? This is how it works. You get your product as good as possible with your workers, okay? As good as possible. Once it's approved, it's like, okay, does everybody agree that it's ready to go out in the public? Everybody obviously says yes. And then they put it out there. They know you guys are going to find the problems, okay? They can't find everything. They can't, listen, a few people at Amazon cannot do what millions of people can do. So once you guys find they're probably already working on the next design. Once you guys start finding all the problems and tell them the problems that they didn't even know, they're gonna fix it in the new design. That's how it works. The minute you start inventing something and you're like, oh, this is it. This is perfect. It can't get better than this. And then next thing you know, you find something that makes it better. It never ends. But that's awesome when it's yours, when it's your baby. That's awesome, man. It's beautiful. But they're going to be they're mistakes along the way. But as long as you learn from your mistakes, it's not a mistake. Linnell, back when I worked part-time at a fast food restaurant, I was surprised to see so many people use their credit card to buy food. You know what? And you got to remember, debt slaves have no money to buy anything, Ulysses, nothing. So they have to use their credit card. Now, I will come in and use my credit card, but I pay mine off at the end of the month. I use a credit card for protection and security because they got financial scammers out there skimming machines and doing all that other stupid nonsense, right? So if I happen to use a machine that skims, they just get my credit card information. And you got to remember, when you understand this knowledge, you have a certain pattern that you create. I create a certain financial pattern, okay, that I do. Credit card companies obviously know that when they look at my account. So if they see something very odd, a weird purchase that somewhere in another state of an awkward store, they're going to know immediately that it was fraud because that's out of character for me. So they fixed my problems within 10 minutes. But if that happens on a debit card, it takes more of my time to resolve the problem. So I use it. The IRS is coming after CashApp too. See, and even with CashApp, like CashApp been out, and I was using it on my previous business. CashApp was part of our business. I already told them about it. They didn't have to tell me, hey, you got to tell us about CashApp. I just told them. I just submitted the paperwork. We also made X amount of dollars in CashApp. Here you go. Now, if they come back and say, hey, we're not requiring you to tell us that, great. I'll just have you tell me that. Put it in, make sure you email me that. Email me a document. But you guys got to understand that when the IRS sees people submitting income from stuff that they may or may not have required, that tells them that these are people that know how it works. Because you guys got to remember, I'm out of the 40-hour work week program. I know that you guys pay my taxes. All my taxes that I pay on my business or whatever I have to pay, you guys pay them. So say like this, say like I have a product for $1,000 and the IRS says you got to put $100 tax on that. So you got to charge the customer $1,100. And then when you get, so I sell the product, charge the person $1,100, the customer. I get my 1,000, and then I pass the 100 to the IRS. Why would I keep that? That's why I don't need to do that. But debt slaves, they want to do that and keep the $100 that the debt slave paid. You didn't pay it. LJ, can I get your thoughts, please? Mortgage stays same as over the life of the loan. Rent increases every year. LJ, can I get your thoughts on, please? Mortgage stays same over the life of the loan. Rent increase. Well, one is debt, and one is, what did I call that? Shit, I'm losing a brain fart. What did I call rent, Nick? What is Nick? An expense, excuse me. Mortgage is debt. Rent is an expense. There is no comparison, tinfoil hat. So when you hear people compare the two, those are people that don't know that rent is an expense and mortgage is debt. I'm a little behind, but those people who do the vlogs working at Amazon think they're getting famous they are. Well, sometimes I'll just see, I'll be on TikTok. I'll either see a woman in very tight stretch pants, wearing tight stretch pants so you can see her ass while she's working and stuff like that. Well, you got to understand this. When you see a woman doing that, she's trying to attract a particular type of man. A man that doesn't care where she works. A man that strictly just want to hit because that's what she's saying when she does that. And then you listen to them speak, how they talk. They act like they don't give a shit about the job. I don't care. They don't pay me enough. Then why are you there? And you better believe when you see people doing that at a job setting, the people they got cameras everywhere in there, so they see them setting up a phone. What are they paying you for? They're working on your replacement, because people that work there, I'm assuming, are very easily replaced. A lot of people think I'm younger than my actual age. I tell people it's called having no stress. You better believe this is what, and this is what, for me at least, uh no stress has made my skin better, more clear, less wrinkles. I don't really have wrinkles. Everybody always is surprised, but then again, I take care of my body too. Don't get me wrong, I do take care of my body. So I my body doesn't look like the average 54-year-old man. I have a six pack. In the summertime, I have an eight pack, right? Uh, I walk around with my shirt off all the time because I can in the summertime. Because I know a man of my age, and many men my age, don't have six packs. I just like it. I'm not saying you have to have one. Even the V down below, like if you go at the bottom of your stomach, and then there's a V that can be created down there if you work at it. I even work on that because I just like the way it looks. I always like to do things that many people don't do, don't look like, and then when they see my gray beard and I have a six pack, eight pack with a V, they're like, "Dude, how old are you?" And I say 54. Yes, rent go up every year. Dang, every year here in my own town, rent has skyrocketed 300 plus. The building apartments so fast with the square feet plus. Well, put it this way, Ulysses. When you have no debt and you rent, and you want to say, like, you want to reduce your rent, okay? You go down to the office and you say, and say like you're planning on living there for 2 years, Ulysses. You go down to the office and you say, how much would it cost? How could I reduce my rent if I pay out the whole year? 9 times out of 10, they will say yes, because debt slaves have no money. Soon, the majority of people will be working from home. Because you guys, okay, let me give you guys a glimpse into my predicted future. This is a prediction, in my opinion only. Once Tesla activates and approve their rideshare driverless car, because they're not testing that software for nothing. What do you guys think they keep testing that software for every year, doing updates every single week? Excuse me, not year, every week. What do you think they're doing that for? So for when they go live, all of their cars are already in place. All they got to do is flip a switch. You guys are going to be out of jobs. You guys have to go somewhere. Guess what you're going to be doing? Probably work from home jobs. You're going to be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna save so much money in gas. I don't have to drive anywhere and this and that. But what you guys don't understand, you guys are going to be working more hours, and you guys are going to be doing it unconsciously, because you're going to be like, well, I'm at home anyway. Well, I would have been spending these 2 hours in the traffic anyway. I might as well get paid and work for it. I wasn't getting paid while I was in traffic. Whatever. I'm gonna be making more money because I won't be da, 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 da. And guess where you're gonna be giving it to? To the people making apartments, jacking up the rent, because you guys are gonna pay it. Home work from home jobs and factory jobs. When Tesla, listen, you guys don't even see it. When Tesla goes live, my prediction, when Tesla goes live, Amazon will have their choice of workers. You guys hear me? They will have their choice. You guys will be begging to work in one of their facilities. You guys will be begging to work there. Mm. which will be, oh man. And then as soon as you get a job, get nice and comfortable. And then one day you're going to get your check. And it's going to be severely short. And you're going to be like, what the hell? They're going to be like, what the hell? They'll be like, the taxes that you didn't pay when you were delivering shit, not paying taxes. What are you going to do? What do you guys, I don't know what you guys are going to do. Listen, you don't get to just walk away from that. Do you guys understand that? Taxes are the law here in the United States of America. By me telling you what's about to happen, I'm giving you guys a heads up. Maybe you should go out and try to get a different job right now as we speak, because once Tesla goes live, those jobs are not going to be available. Do you guys understand that? All these jobs that these employers are begging you to come work at and work here, and we'll give you incentive. Once Tesla goes live, those go bye-bye. Everybody's going to need a job because desk slaves have to work. You guys got bills. You guys got debt, student loan payments, car payments, credit card payments, collection, afterpay payments. 18-year-olds, you hear their lives? You hear what I'm saying? Do you want that? Do you want to be working at a place you don't listen? Do you want to be working at a place, a sweatshop warehouse, making live videos about it, how you can't stand working at this place and you're making live videos about it? Do you want to be that person? Now at 18, you think that's funny and cool. That's why, because you're 18. That's not funny. Oh, I hate this place, but you're making a live video about it. You know how many people complain about working in the Amazon warehouses? Why don't you just quit? You know why they can't? Because they're in debt. That's why they're complaining. Do you guys understand that there are people that have jobs and have no debt? If they were working at Amazon and the conditions were really like what you guys are describing, you know what the people would do? They would quit and find another job. Because when you have no debt, you're not locked to an employer. That's a business. A job is a tool when you have no debt. It's not personal. When you have no debt, you have a job. You guys understand. You guys don't understand that those people live in a different perspective. They don't live in the same perspective as you. People with no debt and have a job, that they understand that the job is a tool, nothing more. You don't go there and make friends and do all this other stuff. All the people that are 99% of the people that have jobs are there because they have to be there, not because they're choosing to be there. That's a big difference. How can you identify the people that have jobs and no debt? Listen to the way they speak to the boss or the managers. Just listen closely. Now, it's not going to be nothing disrespectful, but just listen to the way they speak. Hey, can you work past 5? No. Can you come in on Saturday? No. Well, that's part of being a team player. Well, I'm not going to be a team player. If team player means work for free, we don't do that. When I ride the bus this morning, there's a guy that rides the bus in Balenciaga shoes. Balenciaga shoes. That's what. Now, I don't want you guys to think that people with money don't ride the bus, or you just got to listen to the way they speak. Okay, I don't want you to think If you saw me walk in and I pulled out a credit card to buy my McDonald's meal, I don't want you to think I'm a debt slave because I did it, because that's what I do. When I pull out a credit card, it feels good that I don't have to worry about the machine, if it's a scammer, if somebody's watching my PIN number and all this other shit. The credit card companies have billions of dollars, trillions, with a T. They're going to cover my card being scammed at the gas station. They're going to cover that. It's crazy. As you free yourself, you care less about the things that are popular, even though you are more capable of acquiring it than most. For sure. You don't even look at that stuff. It's not even really. When I go out, like I'm after this video, I got to go out and do some things, right? When I'm out in public, I understand that everybody, when it's busy and everybody's driving, so I understand that debt slaves are out working, hustling, bustling. Okay. A lot of them are tired, don't wish they didn't have to work this many hours and all this other stuff. And I totally get it. So I just make sure that I make sure I'm not part of their frustration caused by themselves. So I just don't respond, or I just give them, they want to cut me off, I back all the way up. I'm not going to be doing no honking or anything. Hey, you want it? Hey, you got to be somewhere. Then I don't have to be anywhere. I know you can, Cupcakes. That's clear. That's very clear. LJ, what about medical debt? I know they have their own reporting agency, but it counts on your situation. Medical debt can be bankrupt. You can go to bankruptcy and get rid of medical debt. Put it this way. If something happened right now and something major happened and I got a bill of a $500,000 and I had no insurance and I had no money to cover it, I would just file bankruptcy because I'm not paying that. I'm not paying that. I would never pay. You gotta evaluate yourself. Am I going to be able to pay off $500,000 in my lifetime currently? Absolutely not. It's bankruptcy. That's what Chapter 7 is there for stuff like that. That's why I'm saying, like, people that put it this way, imagine somebody that stole $500,000 in a PPP fraud and got caught. Now they have $500,000 plus penalties and fees that they cannot bankrupt. I want you guys to hear the severity of what debt slaves do to themselves. There's a debt slave out there. All you got to do is just look up the area wherever you live. They stole millions, but we're going to stick with 500,000. First of all, only debt slaves would steal money from the federal government. Only a debt slave would do that. Okay. Since they're a debt slave, they might as well go all the way and steal more money that they've ever seen because they're dreaming about what they're going to buy with that $500,000. I kid you not, people. This is what they do. They'll take that money and go buy a house and go buy a car. Now, this is what confuses me, okay? I just think it's part of the program. Let's put it that way, okay? All right, I think it's part of the program, but it is what it is. It's none of my business. I don't care. But say it like this, okay? This is what I've thought. Say like somebody took $500,000 PPP fraud and went and took about $200,000 and put it down on a house and financed the house, okay? And say like the person had a job, right? And they put it down, got a house, blah, 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 right? The bank knows, okay? And I don't know how they get away with it. I just don't know. It's because I never hear about it, right? So this person that has never made or had this amount of money in their life, okay, in their life, you could just look on their credit report and see that, okay? They all of a sudden come up with $200,000 to put down on a house out of nowhere, and the bank approves it. They're not asking, "Hey, where'd you get that 200,000?" You're not asking none of those questions because if that money deposited in your account, which is, I guess, because they're gonna want to see your bank records. They're gonna see that $500,000 in your account. Hmm. I guess if that money is in your savings account, no matter where it came from, it's sitting in your savings account. I guess legally they don't really have to ask any questions because they're not asking where it came from. They could just their their job is to see it. Okay, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. This is all a guess. Anyway, so they buy a house. The bank gets 200,000. They're in the house. The IRS comes back, busts them, the government, whatever, the federal officers come and bust them for the crime. Do they come and take the 200,000? Okay. Okay, of course they're getting kicked out the house and the house sells, but the house ain't worth nothing because they just bought it. But the 200,000 came from stolen money. Do they get that 200,000 back from the bank? Do they go to the bank and say, "Hey, give us that 200,000 that was stolen"? I never hear anything about that. Or when they go and buy a car and put 50,000 down, right? Do they go back to the dealership and say, "Hey, you got to give us that 50,000 back because it was stolen"? I don't know. Believe it or not, put it this way, believe it or not, and this is just my opinion, that stolen PPP money actually stimulated the economy because what's the first thing debt slaves are going to do with stolen PPP money? Stimulate the economy, spend it. They're going to spend it. That's why they're stealing it because they want to spend it. 18-year-olds, you're listening to this video, you do not want to be part of that because they are now owned at a young age. What's up, Monique? Owned. My siblings now know the way I think. I get My siblings know the way I think, and I get free lifestyle. Okay. And they tease me about being rich with an Amex credit card. I'll soon be okay. I get it. Totally get it. Anyway, I hope uh I hope the 18-year-olds can hear me. I want you guys to really understand what I said early in the beginning. Your credit report a credit report is an owner's ledger. It keeps track of all the businesses that own them, debt slaves. Credit score are nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners listed on their credit report. Slavery is alive and well. It's just psychological now. You can be on the positive side your entire life, and no one will understand why you look so good, why your skin, how come you don't have any wrinkles, how come your hair's not graying up, and because you don't have any stress, you won't have any problems, you won't have. I'm not going to say you won't have, but 99% probability you won't have any relationship problems because you won't date debt slaves. They always say the reason for divorce is because of money. No, it's because of debt. You guys will see two people, like young people. I want you guys to see this fake image that happens. You'll see two people get married. They're both college educated. They both have degrees and this and that, and they buy a house. You're like, oh, they're so successful. No, they're just double in debt. They'll be divorced soon. Know why? Because they never see each other because they're working 40 plus, 50 plus hours a week. You think a relationship can sustain that? Absolutely not. They'll be divorced. And you know what'll happen? They'll marry the person at their job that they met because they think they have more in common with that person at the job than the person they're married to. You know why they think that? Because they spend more time at the job than at home. Of course they think that. That's a recurring pattern. Then all of a sudden they marry the person at the job. And then that don't works out, but they still have the same job. That would be horrible. People do that shit all the time. Now you got to work with somebody that you're no longer in a relationship with. Now the other person can torture the other person, date somebody. Oh no. That happens every day. Starting at 18, you can choose what you want. If you want, like I tell you, if you can choose, it doesn't matter. The bigger the dream, the better. The more wilder it is, the better. I always have these young kids. Oh man, you keep going, man. You go to pro, and I have a nephew. He's in football, and he's really good at what he does, but he's always breaking shit. Broke your thumb and broke the this and that. I'm like, oh boy, you can't really tell him. Once something breaks in your body and it heals, it doesn't heal like it never happened. It's forever changed. Today, life is much different for me. I'd rather be an NFL team. If I like football, I'd rather be an NFL team owner than play. Let me give an example so you guys can understand this. Say like you are a kid that is very good in a sport. You pretty much know you're going to go pro, but you've been and you're coming from a life of debt and problems, and this is going to be your way out, and this and that, right? And cool, and then you get drafted or whatever, right? And now you're making multi millions of dollars. You go from not even registering on a tax bracket to the highest tax bracket ever. You don't know that. So the first thing you do is go buy everybody houses and cars and this and that. All the while, the first thing you should be figuring out is how do you reduce your tax bracket? That's the first thing you do. You don't buy anything. How would you do that? How would I do that? So if I was a person like you and you're like, I don't know anything, you don't know anything about money, taxes, nothing. Most definitely, if you've been in debt all your life and grew up in debt, and all of a sudden now you're a multimillionaire, you don't know anything about taxes. I promise you, business, nothing. Who do you look for? You go find a professional who is personally debt free. They will know exactly what to do. So as soon as you get your money, everybody's going to start begging, give me this, give me that. You tell everybody, absolutely not. No, you go see the tax professional first. They must be personally debt free to understand what they need to do. As soon as you walk in, you say, are you personally, you find out they're personally debt free. Okay, cool. You know exactly what to do with all my money. Because think about it. If you play football, you're in different cities and states and all this other stuff. You can't keep up with all that. But a debt free tax person who's passionate about what they do can, and they will do it well. Better than better than most tax people in the United States of America. All you need is that one. They will know exactly what to do in every state to make sure you get each and every tax break that every single city and state offer. You will get them all. Have you making here you are making millions of dollars, but when you file your personal taxes, it probably show you only make $30,000. Who knows? Who knows how deep a really good person can go, can do it. When you have no debt and a lot of money, you can there's a lot of things you can do to save money on taxes because you got money to do it. Now, now that I'm out of the 40-hour work week and all other stuff, and was in the 40-hour work, have a job and all that stuff. When I look at 401ks and HSAs, all of the only thing that's for is for practice. That's practice. 401ks and HSAs are practice on how to save money on taxes. If you figure that out, if you understand what I mean when I say that, you'll be like, oh my God, I could save this much money. And then once you understand how that works, and then you break away from the 40-hour work week and start your own business, you will really see how much money you can save on taxes. That all that stuff is practice when you have no money, because here's an example. Say like you're debt free and you maxed out your HSAs of $3,500 or 6,000 family or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, but say like, let's just say for number's sake, $3,500. Okay. That's money. You can reduce whatever money that you put into the HSA. Say like it's 3,500, you could take 3,500 off of your taxable income for depositing in that HSA, right? But on top of that, the HSA has a list of things that you can purchase with the HSA card, because they give you this card, it looks like a credit card, but they give you this card of a list of things that you can purchase with the HSA card. And the difference is that when you use the HSA card, you're doing it tax-free, because that's money before taxes are taken out. So when you use the card, so say like there's an item on there that was let's say it was $100. Okay. If you would have paid for that, if you wanted to pay for that item out of your pocket, that's net. So if you pulled out, say like it's cost $100, that's $100 minus taxes out of your check. So you would have to come up with a little bit more money to come up with the full $100, because they take tax out of the $100. But when you use the card, it's $100. It's almost like the IRS saying, thank you for putting money in this HSA, because I'm assuming they use the money for something, to do something or something. You understand this at 18, this is the way you will live for the rest of your life, and you will thank SMD for the rest of your life. You will thank SMD for the rest of your life. 18, you are free, and it's your job to keep it that way for the rest of your life. Yes, your friends are going to change. Yes, your life is going to change. Yes, but you will find more friends that think like you, that will and they will share their perspective with you, which will help you grow. You will get away from the negativity of people complaining about bills and taxes and not having enough money to pay the car payment and the credit card payment. You will remove them people, because they have a perspective that is no longer yours. That is a perspective of life. That is not life. That is their perspective of life. The people, the debt slaves, in that perspective, they think that's the whole world. No, that's just their perspective of it. They think bills, car payments, mortgage payments, all these payments are part of life, in which they are not. That's a choice. Payments are a choice. We are born free at 18. It's up to us to we put ourselves in bondage. Nobody put us there. We put ourselves there with debt. People are always saying, hey, you can't tell the future. A person cannot tell the future. You're right, but math can. If you sign up for an 84-month car loan, the next 84 months of your future earnings are going to the bank. I just predicted the future, just like that. The future can only be created in the present moment, because the present moment is the only moment that exists, that will ever exist. So you create your future today. So if you finance some new Apple Vision Pros, you just promise your future earnings to Apple Vision Pro whatever until they're paid off. You haven't even earned the money yet. The money that you haven't earned yet is already gone, minus taxes. This is one of those videos that I hope to God that it's forever. All my videos are really like that. They're forever. Capitalism will be here forever. Well, let me not say forever, for as long as I'm living. It's already been here for over 250 years. I can't wait to go to another country. So I could just go to another, like go to Canada or something, stay there and do something, create a business over there and get into the financial game over there. They wouldn't even understand. How are you doing it so quickly? Because it's all the same. Just different color money. That's it. Their money is just a different color. Listen, even in Canada, paper money is an illusion for debt slaves. You guys understand that? Math doesn't care what country you live in. Math doesn't care the language you speak. You need to understand math. Math doesn't need to understand your language. You need to understand math, period. You understand this at 18, your life will be unbelievable. You will live a life unlike any other. Oh man. Man. The banks will know, the IRS will know, man. All right, I'm out of here. It's almost 2.5 hours. I got some things to do. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Omanique. Much appreciated. Cupcakes, appreciate it. SPIV, Brandon, Ulysses, Coding, Nick, Nonstop. Appreciate you all. Who else has jumped in here? Anybody else jump in here? All right. Jacquees. Alonzo. I don't know if Alonzo's still in here. Alonzo will be in and out real quick. You got to bring me on the show, Alonzo. Bring me on your show so we can do some, because the way you be talking, man, I could tell. All right, you guys. Until next time. Later.